Hey everyone, thank you for hopping on tonight. We are so excited. We put together something special, so thank you. I know it's longer than most nights, but tonight we're going to be working on our whys and we're going to do a why workshop. And the reason why we're doing this is because if you're not strongly, deeply, emotionally connected to your why, you're not going to show up on the bad days. You're not going to show up when you're not feeling 100%, when life is happening, when you're tired, when you just don't feel like it. You have to be so connected to this in a strong way that it drives you and fuels you. And that's what will motivate you. That's what will help you to be disciplined. And so we put together some content to really dig into a lot of this. But guys, I just want to start off by saying that, first of all, I want y'all to really deeply understand what we have here. That here in Plexus and the team that we're on, Pink Power and our team, even us, everyone on this call, we are top rated in the whole company. And it's because people care about their health more than ever. Our products work, our products change lives, our products are the missing key for so many people. We all have amazing stories and have customers with amazing stories. And now more than ever, people are looking for extra income. So many people have lost their jobs, our economy is so uncertain, and people are looking for what we have to offer. And so I want you guys to go out there when you're talking to people and be bold and know that what you have to offer is a gift to people. It is the answer to their prayers. And if people know what you know, they'll come to the same conclusion that you did. So just be certain of that and remind yourself of what we have here often. Plexus is a legacy company. We are always innovating. We're always cutting edge. Our ingredients are amazing. And this is what people want. So that is what I've got. I hope you all printed out these worksheets, and really just take some time to dig deep. And Tova is going to talk to us more about that.
Hey guys, Natalie's really going to get into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of your why in a minute. So I'm just going to really try to help connect you a little bit of like the heart of your why. And most of my topic is questions that you can ask yourself when you're going through the process with Natalie to kind of just keep it a little more emotionally driven. We talk about whys so much, and so other kind of words that might help you connect it really to your inner heart, your inspiration, your drive, your desire, your passion, your push, your freedom. So things, certain words elicit different responses in each of us. So why may not bring that out in you. So I encourage you to kind of work through those words: drive, desire, passion, push, and your freedom. Another one is what brings you joy. What do you love to do? So whatever your why ends up being, a lot of what I'm saying will just end up crossing roads with it and being tied to it. Someone asked me a few months ago, with an empty calendar and a full bank account, so empty calendar, no obligations, full bank account, where would you find yourself? Who would you be with, and what would you be doing? So where, who, and what, with an empty calendar and full bank account. Kind of revisit that. As Natalie said, you're going to come into struggles in this business and you must know what you want. And that's why we're here today, to nail it down. And this goes for more than one area. What do you want your marriage to look like, yourself to look like, your relationship with your kids to look like, financially? And by financially, we don't mean buy stuff. Look at Hollywood. They buy lots of stuff and are not happy and not fulfilled and not at peace. So it's really like financial security for your future when we say that. So once you nail this down, whatever you come up with today at the end of today, or whenever you work through the sheet, that should be what drives you every single day when you open your eyes to chase your dreams. When you don't feel like it, there will be days when you don't feel like it, but you in essence owe it to yourself to do this. Oprah, to quote one of the greats, said, all humans desire to fulfill the highest and truest expression of themselves. Your why fulfills this. But when it comes down to it, everyone's why is serving the same purpose, to fulfill the highest and truest expression of themselves. So a few other questions to ask before I pass it off. Think back, even if it takes 20, 30 years, think back, when's the last time you wanted to succeed so badly at something, or you wanted to accomplish something, you couldn't stop thinking about it. It filled up your thoughts all day. You talked to your friends about it. You dwelt on it, thought about it at night, thought about it when you woke up. You're willing to delay things, spend money for things. Look at women who struggle with infertility, or people going for a degree. They'll give up a lot of stuff and suffer and money and pain to get what they want. So that's their passion. That's their fire. That's what they're hungry for. So you have to find something that you're more hungry for that will outweigh the negative feelings. So lastly, kind of some empowering declarations that I feel like help center me and bring me back to why I'm here and what I'm doing. There's a few that I love. I encourage you guys to try to find some of these and write them down and keep them near wherever you work. So here they go. You must act like no one acts in order to live like no one lives. A little Dave Ramsey for you there. The only limits we have are the limits that we believe. Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. Greatness lives on the edge of destruction. And lastly, every day you either feed faith or fear. So you're feeding one of those things. So remember your inspiration, drive, desire, passion, push, freedom, and what brings you joy and really stirs your fire and makes you get up on those hard days. And then Natalie's going to do all your questions to lead you down that path now.
Thanks, Tova. So yeah. Your takeaways from what Tova was saying over here in the why matters on this paper at the top of
hey Natalie, you're breaking up really
section.
Bad. I don't think
so. What we're gonna do is we're going to go to this paper right here. That's my why, 7 levels deep. So hold on.
It suddenly got a little better, but we haven't heard anything for the last like 60 seconds.
Okay, I just switched onto my why.
It's a lot better now.
I switched onto my Wi-Fi. You can hear me? Okay. Whoops, don't know why I wasn't on my Wi-Fi. It's always a switching game around here. So go over here to your 7 levels deep paper, and you're going to write down your why, what you think your why is. And then after you have that, we're going to ask why again. Why do you want that? And then after that, we're going to ask why again. And the purpose of this is because the deeper and deeper you get with your why, the more you will go from your head, why you think you want this, into your heart, why you really want this. And that is going to be what drives you. Your why should make you cry. Your why should make you emotional. And so we're going to try to dig deep. If you don't get all the way through this activity, we've allotted a good amount of time to get through this. So there's going to be some silence. It might be a little bit awkward, but just go with what you're feeling and write that down. Okay. So everyone start with number 1 right now. What is your why? Okay, I'm kind of looking at y'all to see if you're I appreciate y'all having your cameras on so I can kind of see who's still working or not. But here's the next point. After you write what it is, I mean, I wrote, I want to create financial freedom and memories for my family while making an impact. That is like my top why. And now I'm going to say, but why? Okay. And then you write your answer to that. Why do you want that? Okay. And so as soon as you finish that, just go. And if you're in flow, as soon as you write that sentence, don't get too ahead of yourself. Just ask yourself why, and then go a little deeper after that. Just a quick tip. You might ask yourself, but why? Or why is that important to me? Or why does this matter to me? Why does this matter to my family? Whatever question kind of fits with your why, ask that and then answer it. if y'all could put in the chat what number you're on, that would be great. As I'm just kind of tracking time. No rush. Okay, so I'm on 5-2. This is where it kind of goes from your head into your heart. And so it's a little bit tough, but ask yourself questions about yourself. Why is this important to me? What in my background could have made maybe something in childhood that impacted you that um, maybe nobody ever thought that you would do something big. Maybe um, you know, you want to give your family more than what you had. Ask yourself, what does this mean about me? Why is this important to me? It's okay if this goes back to yourself, because at the end of the day, yes, we want more for our families, and that can really drive us, but there should also be a strong personal component to what you're doing. Okay. Okay, we have about 5 minutes left of this activity. If anyone wants to share their final why, or where they got, or if maybe you've made some progress, please feel free to share. I know your why is pretty personal. Your final why is yourself, Franny. Tell me more about that. Franny, where's she at? I love that, Franny. You always put yourself first. The first time I went through this activity, by the end of it, by like step 5 or 6, I wanted to show other people that I could do something with my life, that I could make something of myself because of my background and everything that I had been through. But by the time it got to the end, I wanted to show myself that I could do it. I didn't always believe in myself. I didn't always think that I would do something big and impactful. And that's what started to drive me, like, not even about other people, but about me. I wanted to show me that I could do it. And now my why has evolved quite a bit. So now I'm more, I have like a whole thing written out, but I don't want to make it all about me. If anyone wants to share really quick.
I can expand a little bit on mine. You've watched mine morph over the years, Natalie. But it does take a lot of time and effort to really get deeper into it, because I used to tell Natalie, well, I want financial security for my family. And that's true, but there was so much more than that. Like, well, why do you want financial security for your family? Like, you could probably get that lots of ways. And really what it came down to is creating like more happiness for my husband and more stress-free environment for my husband, which would come from financial security, and really happiness and stress-free for him, that he didn't have to accomplish that all alone. And then again, like being so proud of myself that I was able to do that. Again, like Natalie said, so many assumptions from people that you're not going to be the one to like figure it all out. And so to show people like, actually, I was the one to figure it all out. You're welcome. And memories with my kids. And really, I don't want my kids, of course, like, I don't know. As parents, I think we worry a lot more about what our kids are going to remember than they actually do. But I want my kids' memories to be full of experiences and places, and not like so many people I know, parents were like, no, we can't do that. That's too expensive. No, we can't go visit there. That costs too much. No, you can't join that. Like, I have 2 jobs. Like, I can't take you everywhere. I want to be able to take them everywhere, or pay someone to take them everywhere. So, but again, that comes back to bringing my children joy from experiences, because we became financially free. So when you dig down, it says, I want financial freedom, but there's a whole lot more when you dig. And that's true for anyone's wife on any topic.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's so good. A lot of the freedom that we want it's more than just finances. It's the freedom that finances brings. It's the less stress, the feeling of less stress, of relief, of not worrying, of not having to check your bank account, of not having to worry if my husband had an emergency and he had to fly off, and he's gone, and he has a hotel, and he has a car, and he has a plane, and he's helping family out, and I'm not worried about any of it. And that would have not been our reality if I didn't have this job, if I didn't have this career, which brings me so much joy. So ultimately, mine has evolved, that like showing myself that I could do it. To get to emerald was my emerald goal. And so now I have like a diamond goal. Right. And so, for me, I want to inspire and empower women, and families, really. If I want to change families, because I remember as a family how we struggled to have birthday parties, and how we struggled we couldn't travel, and we couldn't get the gifts, and we were so restricted as a family. And I see so many families being restricted, and I hate seeing families being restricted, because I know I have an answer, I have a solution. And I love seeing women is my, if a man wants to come along and join my team, then by all means, I'll help you out. But for the women that are on my team right now, I want to see them step into their greatness. I want to help them and be with them and walk alongside them as they step into their greatness and step into their purpose and change their destinies and their legacies of their family. Yeah. And so that's where I'm at right now, because I know I have the secret and I know how to do it. And so other people need what we have. And so that is where I'm at, because man, people deserve it. Families deserve it. And we have it. And it's a gift that we get to give them. So that's kind of where I'm at, kind of boiled down. I won't go into the whole thing, but anybody else want to share? Anybody want to be bold and do something scary today? If your heart is pounding.
I will. I just said that I want to be home. I don't want to be at work and my kids have to be home by themselves. I don't want them to be latchkey kids. I never want them to be alone or scared. Yeah, I was alone a lot when I was a kid. And I don't know, I just always hated that. And I always had these fears that if something happened while I wasn't there, that I'd never forgive myself. So I'm happy to be home with my kids.
That's so good. I love how you connected that at what you felt as, a child, and how you went through that, and how you never want your kids to go through that. Right. I love that. Okay. So if you really take all of this and use this bottom part as your main part, but after this, at the top of this page, it says my why. I would really, not right now, but after this, go in and put all of your why down and kind of condense it and make sense of it and put it right here at the top, so that you can revisit this often. You can put this here, put it at your desk, you put it somewhere where you can read it. But after all of this, put your why there. So Kylie is going to take over next with pain points, and she's going to talk about pain points. I always talk about pain points too, and the fact that getting in touch with my pain points is what helped me to get unstuck for my business. Yeah, it's what helped me to really get into action, because letting my dreams go and not working my business was so much more painful than having to manage my time better and having to get organized and talking to people and things like that. Once I compared the two, there was no comparison. So Kylie, go ahead and lead that up for us.
Hey guys. All right, so on the worksheet at the bottom where it says pain points, and then it has in parentheses, if I don't work my biz, then. So this is where we are working, creating pain points. And this is crucial. You can't create your why and your vision and your goals without also creating the pain points. This is so we can feel the future. And I listened to a podcast a while back, and it's stuck with me. So I'm going to share a little bit on that and my takeaway, and maybe it'll be kind of like an aha moment for you guys too. But one of the major fears we have is regret. So we avoid letting ourselves feel that, but we have to feel it, because your vision of your life must have feelings associated with it. If you don't, or you won't create habits in your life until there are feelings associated, until there's emotion associated with it. We must look beyond the now, feel the future. If you want to write that down, feel the future. And something on that podcast, I kind of look as pain points as bridging the gap between all of our goals and vision and our why that we are creating for ourselves, and then getting to the end goal. So I'm like imagining kind of like a little bridge, and this is us making the connection. And the reason I say connection, I'm going to come back to that, but in the podcast, it was with Brendan Bouchard, and I don't remember, I can find it if you guys want the actual name, I could find it, but he said fear is usually not the thing holding people back. What's usually holding them back is the lack of connection with something more important, with fear. So we need, yes, you might have fear in your life. You're going to have struggles, guys. Like, things are going to come up, but that is not the actual thing holding you back. What's holding you back is that you don't have a connection that's stronger than the fear or the struggle that's going to arise. So that's what we're doing. We're creating pain points. He used an example like a firefighter, which I thought was really a good example. He said, you know, there's a building that's on fire. The firefighter is going to have some fear going into that building. So fear is there, but he has such a strong connection to serve people and to go save lives that he's going to run into the building and he's going to save that person that's in the building. So that's what we're doing. We're looking beyond the now, we're feeling the future. And so with the bridge, this is kind of what I'm envisioning. So I have, you know, all my goals, my why, all this, and then the end result. And then I'm making a pain point, and one could be, these might be really personal based on your actual why, but, you know, something for me is, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel the pain of letting my family down. If I don't do this, I'm going to feel the pain of not living up to my purpose. If I don't do this, like Natalie said, it's still going to be pretty painful. Things are hard. Things are supposed to be hard, but it's like the struggle that really makes us thrive and that gets us going. And so I just want you guys to like really envision every why that you guys have is just start to make those pain points. If I don't show up, if I don't do this, how am I going to feel in the future? And I know sometimes the last point I want to do before I kind of let you guys think about and start creating those pain points. Yes, there is a time to rest. So I say that, like, I'm going to use the example for working out. You're not going to work out every single day of the week. But if you start getting in that mindset of every day, well, it's fine. If I don't do this today, it's fine. I'm not going to feel the results at the end of the day. You know, one day off is fine. You really have to ask yourself what you're doing every day, or if what I did today was repeated, would I be one step closer to my end goal? So yes, a rest day is okay. Yes, there are times we need to rest or not work out or whatever, but you really have to ask yourself, like, am I doing this day after day after day? You have to associate the future and that feeling with what you're doing every single day. Because if we fail to feel the consequence of right now, you will fail to feel the consequence of right now if it's not maintained. So that's what we're doing. We're looking at our whys, everything we just created, the goals, the vision we have for ourselves, and then we're creating those pain points. If we don't show up, if we don't do it, how is that going to feel in the future? does anybody have like any pain points they would like to share? I know based on our why, you guys might still be creating some, but if anybody has some that they want to share that are personal or, that are pertain to you, if you would like to share those, you definitely can unmute and share if you'd like, or write it in the comments.
I put other people won't get their health blessings. So I always say other people's blessings are tied to our obedience. And so if I'm not obedient to work my business, then other people they won't get their victories, their health victories. So that's a big responsibility. There are a lot. If I stopped working my business, there's like half of y'all on this team that wouldn't even be on the products probably, and y'all's health stories are too amazing to not share that with people and to not be bold and reach out. So that's just one of mine. Anyone else?
I put that I will be letting my inner critic win, which will damage my self-esteem and belief in my self-worth. So, but that's mine. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I put, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel the pain of not living out my fullest potential. And I think that's like my biggest one, because nothing has challenged me more than doing this. It's grown me so much. And so to not have that and to not fully live out my potential, that's the biggest one for me.
Yeah, that's good. I think for me, that's one of my biggest ones, is exactly what Natalie just said. Like, I have that wrote down, and in my mind too, I feel the pain. Like, I really do think when you start living out your dreams and your goals, you give others the permission to do the same. And you're meant to reach, like, somebody's out there waiting on you they're watching you and like, man, she's doing this, I can do this too. And so that's for me too, like a big thing, man, if I don't live up to my potential, I'm letting other people down. That was really good, Nat.
I have a huge fear of failure. So I feel like I just don't want to fail, and failure is just not an option for me. And I just don't want that to become a reality. So failure.
I had one. I hate the idea of like the naysayers thinking they're right. Like all of our haters, the drive to prove them wrong is strong.
Anybody else? Okay, well, I'm going to turn this over to Sabrina, and she's going to close us out. But if you're not done, writing the pain points, I think that, after this call, now that you have your why and you have kind of those levels and everything, you can kind of dig into the pain points easier because you have the why and the vision and the goals already there for you. So Sabrina, I'll give this to you.
Hey guys, so I'm going to touch on limiting beliefs and truth affirmations. I just feel like this whole entire exercise has been amazing and is really drawing out things that we might not know what we're doing, which is why I love that this is last, because we really have to dive deep what a limiting belief is. And so I just want to tell you, it's a state of mind, conviction, or belief that you think to be true that limits you in some way. So it's just a thought, it's not true. So it's just a negative belief, and it's something that I've just struggled with for so long. Like I just said before, failure's not an option for me. So I fear that I'm going to fail. So I try as hard as I can. But I always have it in the back of my mind, what if I do fail? What is going to happen? So negative beliefs hold a lot of weight. And sometimes we don't even know that we're doing it. But just know that every negative belief always has an excuse attached to it. So if you find yourself coming up with excuses, there is a negative belief before it. So just figure it out. You have to dive deep and figure out the root of that problem and what is causing those negative thoughts or those beliefs and why it's there. So I just encourage you to dig as deep as you can and try to transform that into a positive thought, which takes me to an affirmation. An affirmation is the act of confirming something to be true, or is a written or oral statement that confirms something is true. So it's a positive belief, and your work will just naturally come easier. Your posture will be nice and tall. You're bold and contagious. Your confidence, you're taking initiative, and people will be attracted to you and will want to follow you. So just being positive and changing those negative thoughts to a positive belief is really important in your business. So I always say, put your blinders on and push forward. And your belief and vision for your team comes from you. As a leader, you have to have the most belief. So if you don't have belief, your team will not have belief. So be the leader and guide them. So I want you to go to your limiting belief and truth affirmations paper and just write a couple things down that limit you and what you can do, like what is your truth to that limitation. So go ahead and write a couple of those down and we'll go over it. I don't want to take too much time since we're running out. So just one example that I had written down was I am not worthy, which obviously is extremely false, but can limit me in what I do. And so I've changed that to I have so much to offer. So it's about what you do in place of feeling like you're not worthy and transforming that into something else positive. So is there anybody else that wants to share anything that they put down? Or you can write it in the chat.
My number one limiting belief is that ADD holds me back, and I'm not able to focus. But the truth to combat that is I actually just saw a statistic on entrepreneurs that have ADD, and more entrepreneurs have ADD than don't. And so I put many entrepreneurs have ADD and are successful, and this is a great fit for people who have ADD, and I can still be successful, and I will continue to be successful.
Yes, you will. Is there anybody else that wants to share? No. Okay, well, there's 3 more questions on this page, and I really want you guys to dig deep and really put your thoughts down on the paper. So what obstacles will come up? How will I overcome these obstacles? And what I focus on will grow. This is my business motivational quote. So I guess I want to close out with what my quote is. It's something I heard. I can't remember who said it, but it really stuck with me. And they said, there is always going to be someone better, prettier, smarter, and more successful. But there will always be someone somewhere who would give anything to be where you are right now. So no matter how small you think you are, there's always somebody wanting to be where you are. So I encourage you guys to push hard and just be the best that you can be. So Nat, you want to close them out?
I love that. So yes, if you don't have an anchor thought, a motivational quote that you've memorized, a scripture, a mantra, whatever it is, come up with that anchor, that meditation, for you to always just to go back to. And make sure that you're answering these questions truthfully and deeply. What obstacles will come up when you're trying to work your business every day? Is it time? Is it motivation? Is it your age? Is it your gender? Is it your network? What is going to hold you back? And then how are you going to overcome those obstacles? If you feel like that's an obstacle, how are you going to overcome that? Are you going to watch more videos? Are you going to schedule your time better? What are you going to do? Be proactive. And all of this right here should be a really solid game plan for you moving forward, because you're worth it. Your dreams are worth it. What we have works for everyone. And so hop on the next Monday night call and you're going to hear from, I think the lady is in her 70s and she's been like triple promoting and she's doing great. And like nothing is holding her back. There's no excuses for anybody. Anybody can do this. You don't have to be special. You don't have to have experience. You all can do this. So really take this exercise seriously. And I'm going to have mine right here. I'm going to finish mine and make sure it's all completely filled out. And I'm going to have this right here at my desk where I can look at it every single day. So thank you guys for showing up for your business. Thank yourself for showing up for yourself and for your dreams. Your dreams are only your dreams and only you fully get it. And it's up to you to make it happen. So good for you for showing up. I'm so proud of you and I love all you guys, and we'll see you on the next call.